Hey guys,
I'm Valerie,
and I'm Efrain,
and this is
uncovering the truth. We're having a little mukbang moment. It won't be for the whole episode, probably. It's because Jimmy finished cooking when we were gonna start filming. So
So we made Jimmy made homemade Chipotle bowls,
slay.
which is good because now I have food to take to work.
We're gonna get right into it. Green flags and red flags. I'm gonna start with my red flag. If you guys watched fully last week's episode, you guys will see that right after we say bye, it just says media not found because my laptop was acting dumb, and for some reason the outro card just wasn't. It didn't process when it exported, and I was trying to fix it, but it was taking too long, and I had things to do. So I was like, I'm uploading it like this. And that's my red flag because it was really annoying. But my green flag is that today, the day we're filming this, we finished our 21 days of fasting. So that's a victory. Thank you, Lord. I fasted fast food and soda. Still haven't eaten fast food or soda because I'm going to continue to try not to do that. So that's good. But yeah, we finished today our 21 days of fasting. So that's amazing. What about you, Valerie? What's your green flags and red flags?
My green flag, I have a part 2 green, like a two-parter. So, bro, now you're judging me. Okay, so my two-part green flag is first and foremost, I married a husband that cooks. The second part to that, is that today, the day we're filming, is actually our 8-month mark of being married. That means you only have 4 more months to hit a year.
What by so fast?
Which is crazy because exactly that. It went by so fast. So, period. And then my red flag is that I also was fasting. But what I was fasting was what I was mainly drinking was water.
Because if you know Valerie, she doesn't drink water.
I don't drink water. I don't like it sparkles.
Like ever.
I don't like it sparkling. I don't.
You give her a bottle of water, she'll drink maybe a fourth of it throughout the entire day.
I've been drinking water, and if I drank like juice or soda, it would be like the one time that I drank it, like just like whatever was in that cup. That's all I drank. But then I would drink more water. My red flag is that I got a headache today because I hadn't drank water and made myself a cup of water. And guess what? The little migraine that I was getting, gone. I'm still gonna be drinking water though because
Who would have thought that water and hydration is an essential part?
Just as essential as if you're a Christian, go to church.
Jimmy's clocking all you Christians that don't go to church.
But if you don't have a church to go to,
I was about to take a bite.
if you don't have a church to go to,
We invite you to connect. I was gonna say Connect Cloud. Say it again.
if you don't have a church to go to,
Come closer. If you don't have a church to go to, we invite you to Connect Church of St. Cloud. Connect Church of St. Cloud is located at 1215 Old Hickory Tree Road, St. Cloud, Florida, 34771. With our Sunday services at 1 p.m. every first Tuesday of the month at 7:30 for our first Tuesday service, which is basically a Sunday service on a Tuesday. The rest of the Tuesdays of the month, 6:45 for the youth. Connect groups, you can find that on our website or Instagram. If you don't have a church to go to, if you're transitioning, if you're moving, whatever the case is, if you don't have a home church, we invite you to Connect Church of St. Cloud. Shout out to Pastor Esther and Pastor Stephen. Now back to our originally scheduled program. That was rough because it was too early and I wasn't prepared. Usually, I'm thinking about when I'm going to say it, but Valerie just threw that curveball at me, so I wasn't prepared. She threw that curveball, because like last week, when Valerie was talking, I was like, okay, what am I going to say? And then she started mentioning church. And I was like, church? But then Valerie was like, if you don't have a church to go to, and I was about to, I was like, oh. I wasn't.
the lies that I'm hearing are massively insane because the one who started that for you was Jimmy in the background, not me.
No, I'm saying like right now you threw a curveball. Oh, because he's talking about churches and like
Yeah.
Christians. Well, yeah, but I like in my mind, I still wasn't prepared.
The Lord is calling you to preparedness.
Bruh. What is happening?
The Lord is calling you to preparedness because when you're called, you always got to be prepared for what Jesus is going to launch at you. And that includes the curveballs,
That includes promoting Connect Church.
that part.
Okay, so for today's episode, we're going to be covering media, culture, and the quiet war for your attention. We're just going to be talking about how media, how algorithms, how your daily life, because a lot of us, especially as Gen Zers, because yes, I'm part of Gen Z. I say I'm a Zillennial. I think we're Zillennials. Because we're Gen Z because of the year we were born, but we grew up around a lot of millennials and Gen Z. So we have like both. You'd call that as millennial. As Gen Zers, millennials, whatever, even Gen X, we be on our phones scrolling. So we're going to basically talk about, we have 3 key points that we're going to cover today. And we're going to talk about how basically our digital algorithms shape our beliefs, our habits, and even our spiritual sensitivity, not sensibility.
That's a crazy sentence. Hello.
Guys, we're both, I don't know what's happening today, but we're both just, we can't speak. So we're going to get right into it as we try to eat while we speak.
Or if you saw Efrain's first video in Cash's Corner, get into it. Get into it.
I said that?
Yeah.
I said let's get into it. I don't remember what I said. Speaking of that, if you guys haven't seen the first episode of Castro, can't even say my own last name. If you haven't seen the first installment of Castro's Corner, go watch that. Hopefully by the time this is up, no, because Valerie's video is this week. I was going to save a second episode. But by the time this is up, go watch Valerie's first installment of The Discernment Room. The way I almost said The Depression Room is actually crazy. That's why I paused. Because I was gonna mix discernment and intercession. So I almost said depression. Oh, a cat just ran really fast in front of us. So if you guys haven't seen Valerie's first installment of The Discernment Room, go watch that. And then this week, this week coming up, and hopefully another video of Castro's Corner will be out this week. There will be weeks where we both upload, but just not this week. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Regardless, go watch Castro's Corner. Go watch The Discernment Room if you haven't yet. That's the point I'm trying to make. But really, I said let's get into it.
Yes, because I put the captions, and the caption said, get into it.
I'm going to have to rewatch my own video.
It was when you were showing the shoes.
Oh, yeah. Because I was like, get into it. I was like showing the shoe. Anyways.
You see, even I watch his videos.
Slay.
And I hate him. I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding. Hate is a really strong word.
Esther, you heard that?
I said hate is a really strong word.
So guys, I don't know what's happening with us today, but we're going to jump into our main segment. And our first key point is what you watch wires your walk. So your algorithms, they don't just show you random content. Basically, when you start liking things, it rearranges your algorithm, and it trains your own brain. So what you scroll, it shapes your moods, your values, your patience, and even how sensitive you are to God's voice. Because if the stuff that you're liking isn't edifying, it's not going to edify you. Like the majority of the stuff you see is going to be brain rot.
And what's funny is that we can say we know something doesn't edify us, but because we see stuff that we know doesn't edify us, but because we are comfortable with being around it, it's like we okay it.
Yeah, well, like sometimes when we see stuff, we're like, oh, but like God knows my heart.
Yeah.
Like it's just funny. Like it's
or
not
it's
like
oh, I don't think that's I don't like that stuff anyways. It just comes up on my.
It just comes and you double tap it on Instagram. If you like a reel and whatever, and let's say Valerie likes a reel, and I come across that reel that she liked, it'll show. I mean, even though you can see like who liked it, like it'll say their name, but now like you guys. Most of you know, it comes up with their circle and that they hearted it or they reposted it. So you're like, oh, they like that? So a lot of times we see stuff and we don't like it because we don't want people to know that that's the stuff that we like. The stuff that, like, you reflect the stuff that you watch. Even if you watch certain influencers a lot or a certain TV show, sometimes you pick up what they're given. Whether it be their mannerisms, stuff they say. Because I do it. I've done it all the time. Like, if I watch someone a lot, I'll start saying stuff that they say. Yeah. Not even like intentionally. It's not like one day I'm gonna start saying that from now on. It just starts happening because that's the stuff that you're consuming. So we always have to keep in mind about your algorithm, about the stuff that you're liking, even if like the stuff that you send to your friends, because sometimes you may not like it. Like, you know, if you know, you know. There's certain things that we just shouldn't be looking at.
And also, I feel like with the things that we come across, like the way that algorithm works, if you give it at least like 10-15 seconds of it, it's going to continue to reappear, which is the unfortunate part of the algorithm, because sometimes it just pops up and you, in the middle of you trying to like swipe away or like close it, you're giving those seconds to that. So it will pop up again on your thing. But there is times where we see things and it leads us to start comparing ourselves to people because of what we saw. Because unfortunately, with the way Instagram works, it gives you sponsor posts. And sometimes we see that. And if we're battling with insecurities, and we see something that has to do with the way we look, then we're opening ourselves up to comparison. If we see something that it's like I had the name of it in my head, but I lost it. Those jokes that are like mean something else.
Like innuendos.
Yeah, like innuendos, like like it's talking about something else that is inappropriate. But you're like, but yet you're battling privately on lust. You're dealing with these stuff that involve lust. You're opening yourself to that. Now, I'm not saying for you to unfollow every single profile you got in your account and just start following Bible stuff.
I mean, if you have to,
No,
that's
yeah,
between you and
have
God.
to, you have to, yeah. But at some point, we should be able to tell ourselves, yeah, maybe it's time to like clean out my feed.
Yeah,
Time
because
to clean out like people that I follow. Because even you may not come across it in a post, but you can come across it with someone's story
Yeah.
that they posted it themselves, a song, like just a post that they put on their thing, a picture that they took. We have friends that aren't Christians and they put stuff, and we kind of have to learn how to filter things out, because we could agree with some things, but there's other things that we're like, yeah, I don't agree with that.
yeah, and sometimes, like how Valerie was saying, with the algorithm, and this is a great segue to our second point, because it talks about the algorithm and how the algorithm is a teacher and it's always talking. What do we mean by that? Obviously, it's like, what do you mean your algorithm is always talking? Every like and linger, which is what I was talking about. If you even stay on a post, you don't necessarily have to like it, but if you stay on it for a certain amount of time, it tells the system, it tells whatever app you're on, oh, they like this kind of content, give them more of it. And if like Valerie's saying, the stuff that you're struggling with, and you're not necessarily liking it, but when it comes up, you watch it, it's gonna stay on your algorithm. And if you're trying to get away from certain, it doesn't necessarily have to be about lust. It could be like with curse words. It could be drugs, whatever. Like whatever your struggle is, if that's content you're consuming, sometimes you just have to hit the little three dots and be like, not interested, and not interested, until all the posts that come up, so that the algorithm changes for you and it shows you different things. And you have to start looking at and liking at the things that'll benefit you. And I'm not saying that everything, like I said before, it doesn't have to be all Christian, all holy, all about God all the time. Because there are comedians that are just funny. There are posts that are entertaining, like people cooking. Because on my TikTok right now, it's full of sourdough bread. Mainly because I'm always this is really like sidetracked, but because I'm interested in like the sourdough starters, how they look like they're alive, and it's like really weird and creepy. And then they name their sourdough starters. I'm like, you're cooking your child. Like, this is weird. Like, this is my sourdough starter Jane, and we're just gonna pour 150 grams. And I'm like, so you named your sourdough starter and you're gonna cook it and eat it? It's kind of weird. But anyways, so we just have to understand that every like, or if you're watching things, they're not liking it so that nobody knows that that's what you're liking. The algorithm knows that you like it, and it's going to continue to show you more of it.
I'm just going to share a little bit of what we're going to be talking about in the discernment room.
Period.
But
well, you should have already seen it, but if you haven't, this is a sneak peek.
if you haven't. So one of the things that we're going to talk about, the title of it is The Power of a Quiet Place. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about is how silence exposes what we've been running away from. So what exactly does that relate to what we're talking about now? Even if you're not liking it, that's the silence that you're running away from. Because yes, you didn't like it. Yes, you're battling with this, whether it's because it's not only lust, like you said, it's not only lust, but we talk about depression. We can talk about insecurities. We can talk about doubts. Like that all still has to do with that. Even though we may not like it, so that someone else that encounters that says, oh, they liked it, but that's still something that you're doing in silence. That's still something that you're struggling with in silence. So you're just showing, despite the fact that you did not like it, you're still running away from that and not trying to heal from it.
I just read like the point within the point. And what I really liked about it is it says over time, it can normalize anxiety, lust, outrage, comparison, or distraction. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you're not even struggling with a certain situation, but you liking certain things or lingering on a post or whatever, it can start creating that anxiety. It can start creating that depression. It can start creating things that you weren't struggling with before.
Yep.
So you have to be very careful with the content that you're consuming, especially if you're a Christian, especially if you claim to be a follower of Christ, because we're supposed to be reflecting Christ. And if we're allowing ourselves to be consumed by those topics or by whatever it is you're watching, we're not going to be reflecting Christ. We're going to be going through the gigs all of the time. Because I'm not saying, because obviously as Christians and as humans, we're going to go through ups and downs. But if that's all you're consuming, like, you're doing it to yourself.
To kind of continue on the point of that I had mentioned. Because if we think about it, we can relate to this noise versus like quietness, which is what we're going to be talking about in the discernment room. But noise, it helps us avoid our emotions, our convictions, and our questions. If your social media is noisy with all these things that you're either battling or you're not, but because you are allowing that to, you're opening yourself up to that, it starts to create it. It's going to be really hard for you to come to terms when God says, I want you back in your quiet place. Because that literally is going to linger in your head, and it's going to be really hard for you to hear the voice of God.
Yeah, because you're so used to the noise that you created for yourself that it's just going to be hard to distinguish his voice.
Because in the quietness, that's where you're sitting with your grief, you're sitting with your desires, you're sitting with the truth of who God is. Because God isn't always noisy. God will sometimes sit with you in the quiet. If we are not comfortable with having social media that is quiet, when God calls us to that time of, hey, I need you to come back to me, it's going to be really hard for us to do that because we got used to our social media.
You guys, we are so sorry. We paused for maybe 10 seconds and we both forgot where we left off. And it was a good conversation too. So
Bro,
what?
Hopefully this is where I left off. If not, well, I don't know. But when God calls us into the quiet, because we've taken that chance to kind of be like, yeah, like this is becoming too much and God is calling us back, it's going to be really hard because God sometimes is not a noisy God. He's not a noisy God. He is not going to sit there and literally scream at you where it's audible. Sometimes it's literally going to be silence, and in the silence, you're just going to feel him.
Yes.
And that's going to be all you need.
Yeah, because our God's a gentleman. He's not rude.
So, and I don't know if it's a Bible verse, I don't know, but I have heard preachers say that God will sometimes operate in the whisper. And there's actually a verse in Psalms, and it's David, and he's talking, and he's saying like he waits quietly for God.
Period.
So there's going to be times where we're going to want to move away from the noise of our social media accounts. But if we're not taking that time to get that into our routine, it's going to be really hard to do that.
I just looked up in 1 King 19:11-13. It says, the Lord said, go out and stand on the mountain in the presence of the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by. Then a great and powerful wind tore the mountains apart and shattered the rocks before the Lord, but the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind, there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. After the fire came a gentle whisper. When Elijah heard it, he pulled his cloak over his face and went out and stood at the mouth of the cave. Then a voice said to him, what are you doing here, Elijah? So there could be a million things going on and making bad noise, but God will come in a gentle whisper.
So yeah, that's just a little bit of what we're talking about in the discernment room. But I just felt like that tied in with what we were talking about.
It did. A key point that we want to talk about about the algorithm is that if you don't choose your influences, if you don't choose what you're watching, your algorithm will choose it for you. Just be very conscious about what you're liking. If you see something you're like, I shouldn't watch that, hit not interested, block it. Because at the end of the day, we, for the most part, everyone that's watching, like we're old enough to know what we should be looking at.
So our next point is silence is spiritual resistance. So it's not, stillness isn't a weakness, it's warfare. Does that mean you're going to be fighting with your phone? No.
Can you imagine? It was like, so sorry to
That's not,
was
that's not what we're talking about here. You're not going to sit there and post up with your phone. That's kind of crazy.
If I walked in a room and I saw someone posting up with their phone, I'd be like, are you good? Because that's wild.
But what we're talking about is basically developing quiet time with no phone. Meaning no social media, nothing that's going to cause you to either continue to feed what your flesh wants or to continue to allow your battle to overtake your mind. Because the reality is the majority of the things that we as young people and even adults battle with has a lot to do with their mind. Depression, doubts, insecurities, comparison, lust. It all has to do with the mind. And unfortunately, the mind is something that the enemy likes to attack. Because, again, the mind is the main boss in the body. The mind tells the body how to operate. So the enemy knows that. Mm-hmm. That's why there's times where if you feel like you're overwhelmed with everything that's going on, take a break.
Yeah, and if it's hard for you to take a break, I was just thinking about this. Like, most of us that watch, like people that we know that watch, either you're married or you live with your parents, you live with someone. If it's hard for you to be like yeah, I can put my phone down, but then I'm tempted to pick it back up. Go to your mom, go to your husband, go to your wife, go to your brother, your sister, be like, hey, I need you to hold my phone for the next 45 minutes, for the next hour, and don't give it to me until the hour's up because I need to spend time with God. But if I have my phone too close to me, I'm tempted and I feel like I'm going to go back on it.
Yeah, you need to make sure you have that group of people that can hold you accountable. And not only accountable, but to let you know, like, hey, like I've been seeing what you've been posting, how you've been acting, how I feel like something is not quite right. I think it's time for you to have a reset.
Yeah, because having that community, having those people, whether it could be your spouse, it could be your parents, whoever, it's very key because, I mean, we can't do this alone. Yes, it's mainly with God's strength, but we still need those people there to help lift us up when we're down and for us to lift other people up. Because we all go through a lot of us have gone through similar situations. And if we could be a help to someone who's going through something that you've gone through, that's amazing.
No, yeah. I feel like a lot of people think that there's people out there or people that they know that have never gone through what they're going through. So they instantly assume, oh, they don't know what I'm going through. So why am I going to go to them? That is the biggest assumption that you can make that's hurtful to yourself.
And that kind of goes back to our comparison culture episode, because if you're like, they're not going to understand, it's like, because you think, because based off what you see in that person, they haven't gone through what you've gone through. Maybe they are where they are because they have gone through what you've gone through, but we can't assume because of what you see that they post or what they present when they're in front of you that they don't go through similar situations.
So it's definitely something that we, as people that are a little bit stronger in our faith, or even people that are new in the faith that are just learning about this, but they're realizing like, yeah, I kind of struggle with these certain things. Social media is something big that is easy accessible, that literally everyone is on, and it's something that the reality is it's not something that you really need.
Literally, yeah.
There's people that literally live their best lives and they're not on social media.
Truly,
And
yes.
they will literally tell you, oh, like ever since I got off social media, I've been living my best life. Because the reality is that social media is something to kind of distract you.
For sure.
And it not only distracts you, but it allows you to open yourself up to all these different things that unfortunately go around amongst young people.
Yeah.
And that even adults are still trying to overcome. Because I feel like I've heard, like, adults that I've encountered have said, like, oh, like, life was better when social media wasn't around. Like, it wasn't popular.
Yeah, because I saw, if you guys know who Christy Carlson Romano is, she was the one that voiced Kim Possible. She was in Even Stevens. She was Cadet Kelly. She was Belle on Broadway. There was a post. Let's see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Give me a second.
I'm here with my full-on WWE wrestler shirt. People think I'm brutal.
I can't find it, but if I find it, I'll insert it over Valerie's face. I'm kidding. It'll be like here.
And then he be saying anybody bullying him.
But basically, she was saying, like, I don't know if she's a Christian, honestly, but she was saying how, like, back in the day when we didn't have social media, when we weren't, like, life was so much easier because we could make mistakes and nobody would know. We could have inside jokes, and it would truly be an inside joke because it was just people that were there that are never going to know because you're not posting it on social media. Like, everything that we do nowadays, people think it has to be online.
Yep.
So it's just like...
Even things that are literal personal, and we're blasting it on social media.
Literally. So it's like back then everything was like slowed down and like everyone had their own lives. Now it's like everyone knows everything that happens in everyone's lives because we feel the need to be posting everything. And sometimes, like, us doing that, it can ruin the sensitivity that we have to God's voice. Because sometimes I feel like I've gone through it where I'm like, Lord, like, before I feel like I heard you more, and I feel like I felt your presence more, but like, what's happening?
Just because you don't have emotions.
Oh, that's actually wild. Stephanie, you heard that?
You too busy on that phone. Like,
That's crazy.
put a hand up emoji. If you never heard your parents say that to you.
It's like, Mom, like, my pinky hurts because you're on that phone. I'm like, bruh. But there's a cat right there. But literally, like, sometimes we're so overconsumed by everyone else's lives that we We're so overconsumed by everyone else's lives that we don't take the time to be in our quiet place to hear God's voice.
You need to check your screen time because if you have an iPhone, you could check your screen time.
You need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
What?
You heard someone say that?
No. Yeah, I've heard some people say, "What? Wait." No, I wasn't gonna say that. Always check your screen time because your screen time, it be exposing you.
Literally.
It be exposing you. I remember like probably when I was like when Kick was
Kick
popular.
in. When Kick was kicking.
Kick was popular and like Instagram became like popular. The way that Instagram was like
Had you had a chokehold?
14 hours on my screen time.
Like, this
I
is
was like
Instagram.
was
Yeah.
crazy. And what's funny is that was the moment that I was most insecure.
Comparisons. You didn't even realize. Sometimes you didn't even realize you're comparing yourself to things that you're watching, but you are.
And it wasn't even like things that I was watching. It was more so like I had the people that I was following, like even friends. I was comparing myself with friends. Like, you know, her hair is long and my hair doesn't grow. Like it was like, oh, look, she has like good weight and I'm like skinny.
You gotta be careful. And sometimes, because like before we said that sometimes you need to switch what you're watching. Sometimes it's not the fact that you need better content.
It means you need to get off of the content.
You need to get out in general. You need that holy quietness. Because sometimes it's just you could even be with Christian influencers and whatever and like clean content. But if you're just over consuming it, you're gonna end up I'm so sorry,
Severus
Severus.
is stretching.
That was so funny. But you're gonna need to like disconnect and have your quiet time with God, because that's like very important, especially for we need a cat cam at this point,
We
especially
do.
for the Christian faith.
So you're probably gonna see like just a little bit of what, but we're learning. This is just like a side,
Aside.
like off topic. We're noticing that Severus is a TV person.
Oh, he likes to watch TV.
He likes to watch TV because yesterday we were watching wrestling, and we've shown the couch. There's a couch that Ephraim sat in when we had the video with Mari, and he literally sits there. He lays down and he angles himself to the TV, and he'll sit there and watch it.
That's so funny.
And it's funny because he knows when we're like, I feel like he knows at this point when we're going to watch TV and when we're not. Because this morning, Jimmy sat on the couch and Severus was by the TV waiting for the TV to turn on.
So you're gonna watch something or not? That's so cute.
And so it was funny because we were like, because Jimmy even asked me, he was like, should we leave the TV on for him? And I'm like, why are we going to leave the TV on
Some people do that for their dogs.
for him? But we were going to sleep.
Oh,
So who was going to turn that off?
you're right. I think you have to check, but some TVs have timers. It's like it'll auto turn off. So
It's crazy.
good.
But I was like,
Severus needs to disconnect and have this quiet time with God. No, I was kidding. But yeah, so Severus went in between Francis's legs, and Francis
we're
is
getting
celebrating.
somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Because this is the thing. Like, if Severus doesn't spend time with you, he's not gonna, like, if he doesn't see you on a constant basis, he's gonna be scared of you. Because I just feel like with his previous owners, they probably were like, there was so much happening that he kind of got scared because of that. So now that we're giving him consistency, it's kind of like allowing him to like open up. So that's why I always tell them when they come, like, if y'all come more often, Severus is gonna like you.
No, that's true though.
But they don't like being here with us, so that's okay.
That's literally wow. It's crazy.
He
Anyways,
didn't deny it though. Ah, because you always on that phone.
I'm over it. But that was a good topic. I feel like it's something that even sometimes ourselves need to hear, because we don't realize how much you're consuming. Even with the screen time, sometimes you're like, oh, sometimes you didn't even look at it.
Yeah.
So I feel like once we get into like that mindset of, you can even have a strict schedule, because I found out you can have like a setting on your phone that you can choose particular apps that you can't open them after a certain time. So if you have to do that for yourself, let's say you don't have anyone to like give your phone to, be like, hey, for the next hour, you can turn your apps off, and then you can't open it until that time is done, so that you can have that intentionally put your phone down to have your time with the Lord. Because a lot of our excuses, like even I've done it too, is like, I don't have enough time in the day. Yes, you do. We just don't make the time. Because
Better drop your phone.
No, literally. Because like we spend look at your screen time and look at the apps that you're on the most. If you're on your social media for the most part, that means you can make the time.
Even like Instagram, it puts you in sleep mode.
There's
I
no
have
excuse.
it. Do I listen to it sometimes? No.
Crazy. But yeah, so there's no excuse, and that's for all of us, even me and Valerie.
Mainly him.
Okay, first of all,
Just kidding.
like actually let's no, I'm just kidding. Like have receipts. I don't know what receipts I would have, but so let's just be more intentional. Let's make 2026. I mean, in Connect Church to St. Cloud. Let's our the word of the year, because churches usually have like the year.
Yeah.
The word of the year. The word of this year is growth. So let's take that word and apply it to your growth in your spiritual life with God, and being more intentional with taking your time to praise Him. Santo. Period.
Your growth is to stop with this Pentecostal.
No. I was raised Pentecostal. Even Pastor be saying all the time, he was like, I was raised Pentecostal, so you can't.
Yeah, but the people gonna think you're making fun of them.
I'm not making fun of nobody. And if you think I'm making fun of you, it's because you're faking it. There's some that be.
It don't. Child. Anyways, we're not gonna talk about that. That's a different topic for a different day.
Oh my gosh, what if we did an episode on like the churches, like
Radical?
the big no, literally yes.
Radical churches.
Yeah, like Bethel, how they're very controversial, even though we sing their songs. But do we know what they believe? We're talking about like taking time off social media, but this girl's pop up on my social media, on my TikTok. She went to Bethel school for whatever it's called.
ministry? I think I've seen it.
For like I don't know what it's called. And allegedly, she's saying that Bethel allegedly is an alleged cult. So
I saw that.
allegedly,
video. I was
Y'all
like,
can't confirm.
ooh.
I believe it.
But there was
Shh, you can't say that, Jimmy.
there was a documentary though that was made out
For Hillsong,
for Hillsong, and I was like,
yeah. So it's like
that's scandalous.
So like one of my questions is, and we can talk about this in another episode.
if you want to talk about this in another episode, let us know.
Yeah, so we can make sure we have all of our facts, all of our alleged facts straight.
Allegedly.
Because I'm not trying to, not that Bethel's watching our podcast, but still, allegedly.
Well, you never know.
Exactly.
You never know.
But like, it makes me think then the songs that we sing that are from these supposed churches, like, are they okay to sing? You know what I mean?
They got heresy.
But I feel like at that point, it's just like.
What's funny is that in a way, because we were over our pastor's house
on Friday.
On Friday, and we were actually talking about that. And Jimmy brought up a point where we sang this was a popular song, Oceans. But does Oceans actually talk about God? There's no mention of God in that song.
But I feel like a lot of songs don't mention God, like literally say like God or Jesus.
But if you look at the lyrics,
Let's look it up.
and I will call upon your name, who you calling? Like that leaves it open for you to be like, oh, I worship Buddha. I call on Buddha. Like,
I mean, she. Well, because I say she because it's the girl that sings it. In the bridge it says that my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior.
okay, but how many religions think that the person they worship is their savior?
Oh no! And the part that she's like, yeah, she says, Jesus, you're my God.
But that's ad lib.
Okay, but it's still in the song. And we be singing their ad libs. If you listen to songs like you learn the ad libs and you sing like, in your car, you be singing the ad libs. So she does mention Jesus, and that's in her free worship. So I feel like that's even more like she's literally singing a new song to the Lord. I'm kidding. I mean like devil's advocate, but that's true. That's like what I want to talk about, because it's like we hear those alleged things about Bethel. What he do?
Bro, I can't. Severus was walking. He was minding his own business. This little kitty turned his head and he was looking like towards the kitchen. And when you say allegedly, he said,
But yeah, when we hear those alleged things about Bethel and churches, is it okay to sing their songs? I'm asking that because we be singing Center all the time. It's Center's from Bethel. But it's like, I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like if you look at the lyrics and it does line up with the Bible and it's not contradicting or whatever, feel like it's okay.
Because also, if you think about it, some of the songs that Elevation was singing also were not.
And Elevation is also a controversial
But
church.
now, the songs that they're putting out now, it's now more Bible, like biblically accurate.
Yeah, I mean, it was never like Elevation worship that was fully controversial. It was mainly leadership. I'm not saying names. Allegedly. Let me restart the camera. Hey guys, while we're waiting for Valerie to prepare her lunch for tomorrow, how was your guys' day?
I just pop in. Wait.
Hey guys, we have a new guest. My fiance Francis.
Hey.
Francis, what are your thoughts on Bethel? Allegedly.
I have heard stuff from Bethel.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I have heard some that they're allegedly. Sorry. Allegedly their doctrines are wild.
There's one thing I heard that they do. Allegedly. It's called grave soaking.
The heck is that?
Basically,
What is that?
allegedly, they when like leaders die or like people that were very anointed. I'm like people that were supposedly anointed or whatever when they were alive. After they're in their grave, allegedly they go on their grave to soak up their anointing.
No.
Allegedly, yes, I'm being dead serious.
That's so weird. Maverick City, when it was first booming and now they're like not there. The same thing with Maverick City Musica.
Well, Maverick City Music got literally dissolved.
Literally, the same thing with Maverick City. I mean, they lasted maybe a little bit more longer, but
Well, Maverick City's still a thing.
are they?
They're fully still a thing. Yes.
Oh, like that is true. It's just different.
Maybe it's
people.
not the same
It's not
people,
the
but-
same OG people like they was in the beginning.
But Maverick City Musica, they decided it wasn't like because they were flopping. It's because they just decided,
They just decided to go a separate ways.
yeah, and like start their own, they do their own thing.
Understandable. I mean,
Just never-
whatever the Lord does. But
Period. If they had a reunion tour, I'd go.
oh,
The Severus guys, say hi,
Severus is so cute.
meow meow.
He just got used to us, you know. That's hilarious. Well, it's my cue to leave. It was nice being with y'all for a little bit.
I'm leaving that in. But yeah, so let us know if you guys want us to do an episode on radical churches. I'm just gonna say that. Controversial churches. So the ones that we're thinking of, Hillsong, Bethel, Elevation. If you have any other ones, let us know. We'll get our facts straight. Allegedly. And then, and then we'll do the episode. So I think that'll be fun. So yeah, guys. I guess this wraps up today's episode.
It does not wrap up this week's episode.
I was gonna say this week's. I was meant to say this week's main segment, but then I said episode. Okay, guys. So that's okay. Okay, guys. So that. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. Okay, guys. So that wraps up this week's main segment for episode 13 of Uncovering the Truth. Is he purring? I don't know if you guys heard that, but he's purring. Okay, guys, to wrap up this episode, we're going to do our confirmed or conspiracy. We have two really stupid ones. The first one, do it. I don't know what exactly. The towel one.
Bruh. Okay, so obviously we use towels to dry ourselves off,
Yeah,
but then we have to throw them in the washer
because you get dirty.
because they get dirty. So are we actually clean or are we dirty?
You know, I've thought about this, not like recently, but like in my, because I feel like that question's come up like randomly through like whatever. Anyways, but I also wonder that because like if you just showered and like you actually cleaned your body and you're supposedly clean, how is the towel getting dirty? Is it like because since it's wet and like the germs in the air, are we actually fully clean ever? Talking about like 100%. You know what I mean? Point is, towel be getting dirty. You need to wash it.
Yeah, plus I feel like people that leave their towels to dry, you end up using it anyways. It's like, oh, a towel's there. Let me use it to dry my hands. Or
Yeah,
those that are doing like makeup. Oh, let me get this makeup off. There's a towel right there.
that's true.
Or if something spills in the bathroom, wherever it is you have a towel, you have to use it to clean it. So I feel like they like eventually get dirty.
Okay, so this is what Google Gemini says. I mean, you know, you Google something, it's AI overview.
No, yeah.
It says towels get dirty even after you
Change the battery.
That was so disrespectful. So before we were rudely interrupted by my camera dying, Google AI overview says towels get dirty even after you shower because they collect dead skin cells, body oils, and bacteria from your skin, plus airborne dust and germs, creating a damp environment perfect for microbial growth, leading to odors and potential skin issues if not washed regularly. Even when you feel clean, you're not sterile and shed skin. Plus, residues from soaps and lotions stick to the fabric, turning damp towels into breeding grounds for bacteria and mildew. So basically, you be shedding your dead skin. If you have residue from your soap, usually you leave your towel. Some people leave their towel in the bathroom. So if you leave a towel in the bathroom after you shower with hot water, it's damp. So it's just space for bacteria to grow. So if you were ever wondering why do towels get dirty if you're clean, you're not fully always clean and you're not sterile after you shower.
Unless you stick yourself in one of those showers that are sterilizers, then maybe you will be clean.
Well,
but until then, you're dirty.
And our second and last conspiracy, confirmed conspiracy, is if you drop soap on the floor, this is stupid. Is the floor clean or is the soap dirty?
I feel like it's the same thing with the towels because generally, how many times do you clean your bathtub or your shower floor?
Yeah, I feel like if you drop soap, the soap is the thing that gets dirty. But since it's a bar soap, it also
you're kind of also putting that on your your body too.
Like if I drop soap on the floor. And the floor is obviously dirty because like you're washing your dirt off your body. And then when you pick up the soap, it's dirty. But then if you rinse the soap under the water, then it's fine because it's soap and it's like layers. So like once you wash, because you're basically washing the soap with the soap. So once you rinse the dirty part of the soap off, and then it's clean. But in retrospect, the answer to the question would be that the soap gets dirty, in my opinion.
Because I mean,
because the soap touches the floor.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the soap does get dirty because you don't walk into the shower head first. Yep. Like in your feet, like if you're walking around in your house barefoot.
Yeah, the floor is dirty.
And
then like the floor gets cleaner because the soap touched the floor, so the soap cleans the floor, but then the soap gets dirty. But let's see what Google AI overview has to say. When soap is dropped on the floor, it becomes dirty when it picks up what? It becomes dirty because it picks up bacteria, dust, and grime from the surface. While the spot on the floor might get slightly cleaner, the soap itself is contaminated. However, the bar is generally safe to use after a quick rinse, as its alkaline nature prevents it from acting as a breeding ground for germs. So, period. That answers that question. So, if you're ever wondering if you drop soap, does the floor get dirty or does the soap get dirty? But, yeah. Was that the question?
Bruh.
So that answers the question. The floor gets cleaner and the soap gets dirty because the soap touches the floor and then you like wipe the soap off the floor and then the part of the floor gets cleaner.
Yeah.
But the soap gets dirty until you rinse it. So that's it for today's Confirmed Conspiracy. And that wraps up this episode of Uncovering the Truth. Make sure you guys like this episode. Comment down below what you guys want to see next, even though we're just saying it because it's part of the script.
Shout out. You know who I want to shout out?
I know who you're trying to shout out, but shout her out.
I want to shout out Pastor Mari. You want to know why? Because she the only person that be liking and commenting under our videos. So shout out to you, Mari. MVP.
You know what? Yeah, and we're going to shout out Seal with Purpose podcast. Go watch it if you haven't. It'll be linked down below.
And if you don't have YouTube, well, you wouldn't be watching this video if you don't have YouTube.
True.
But if you want to listen to something in the car, because obviously when you're driving, you want to be paying attention to the road, not your phone. She's also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And
hopefully soon we will also be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Which I mean, it's set up, but
that's fine. No, because the thing is, my laptop is from 2018 and has this much storage. So, but I have to continue editing these episodes, so then it fills up my. It's a whole hassle. I need to get like external hard drive basically, so I can transfer everything, so I can download because my laptop has such little storage, I had to like delete the footage of the first few episodes. But luckily on YouTube, you can like download the videos to your device, like through the Creator like Studio. Mm-hmm. So I just have to re-download the first few episodes that we did. So because obviously we're not gonna like start uploading from episode 6. Yeah. Even though the first few episodes the audio was not the best, but it's part of our journey. So I have to re-download those videos from YouTube so that I can convert it into an audio so that we can upload it to Spotify and Apple Music. So soon they will be up there, but for now, obviously you can only listen on YouTube and watch. But yeah, so make sure you guys like this video, comment down below, use Pastor Marty as an example, and comment down below. Thank you.
I like burped and it was all up in the mic. Anyways,
Please, like, Kati, Nyla, Eliel, tell us what you guys want to see next. I don't know who else like actually fully watches our videos. Esther, because you told us you've been watching them now. So you see our faces on your YouTube, on your algorithm, because she consumes our content. Just kidding.
what?
Pastor Steven,
Pastor Mari,
Jerry, tell us what you guys want to see next.
let us know.
So this wraps up this week's episode of Uncovering the Truth. And remember, the truth isn't always comfortable, but it's always worth the conversation. Like, are you just not going to say it anymore?
That is crazy.
But guess what?
I feel like
But guess
you're
what?
being a little bit too sarcastic. And I think that you need to re-stabilize yourself. Re-stabilize yourself.
But guess what?
You are showing too much sarcasm. You're being passive aggressive. We need to stop. We need to be assertive, not passive aggressive. All right? If you know, you know.
But can we clock something real quick? I didn't mess up the tagline.
Okay, period. You got that part. Let's see the next video.
All right, I told you it's not gonna happen no more because now that's in my mind. It's like Valerie's watching me, so I can't mess it up.
I'm not watching you. Severus is watching you.
Severus doesn't even know where he is.
Exactly. He watching you from a distance.
I hear him though. I heard his
He
collar.
watching you from a distance. That's what he's doing.
Imagine he's like on the chair and he's just like,
No, he's following his dad.
oh, que lindo. But anyways, the truth isn't always comfortable.
But it's always worth the conversation.
Bye. Hopefully the outro card's here this time.